be in trouble.
Let the record show it's 6 o'clock. We'll call a meeting to order. Sarah, will you do the roll call, please?
Jim Whitaker, Linda Barnhart,
Present.
Eric Goff,
Here.
Hannah Morton,
Present.
Tim Lewis,
Present.
Daniel Gant, Michael Bush,
Here.
Ronald Truitt.
Okay, we do have a quorum. You have the agenda in front of you. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Goff to approve the agenda. Need a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Norton. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved. Do we have anyone that signed up to speak under the Sunshine Law? No. Let the record show that there's no one to speak there. Approval of the meeting minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Goff, second by Ms. Norton to approve the meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the minutes are approved. We have two public hearings this evening. First one is Potomac Overlook Phase 1 and 2.
Yes, the first public hearing tonight's a request for major plan change approval. The project is Potomac Overlook Phases 1 and 2, Lot 38. The file is 2310-354. The developer is Potomac Rock Estates LLC, and the engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, Tax Map 8, Parcel 66, and is located at the end of Test Circle in the Potomac Overlook subdivision. The developer is proposing one single-family lot on 1.71 acres to be served by private well and existing community sewer system. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On January 12th, 2024, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance. The major plan change meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends advancement of the major plan change to the final plat stage.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. Let the record show that Mr. Gant joined the meeting. This is a public hearing. Do we have anyone to represent it?
Yes, good evening. Steve Sianovich with Fox and Associates representing the applicant.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. It's your opportunity to make your questions or comments known regarding this project. We'd ask that if you have any, to please come forward, state your name, your address, and any comments you might have.
There is no one. I move to close public hearing.
Let the record show that there's no one to speak. Have a motion by Mr. Goff to close the public hearing.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gant. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, how about you? Do you have questions of Mr. Sianovich or of the staff?
Hearing none, ma'am, I make a motion to accept staff recommendation for advancement of the major plan change to the final plat stage. Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Bush, second by Mr. Gant to accept staff recommendation, and that is to advance the major plan change onto the final plat stage. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are any questions? Those opposed? Motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next public hearing is Brookfield Phase 2.
Yes, this is a request for major plan change approval. The project is Brookfield Phase 2, file 2312-399. The developer is Panhandle Homes and the engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, Tax Map 11, Parcel 2.40. The site's located in the Brookfield subdivision at the end of Riparian Drive, northeast of the Crawford Quarry Road, Berkeley County Public Service Sewer District Pumping Station lot location. The developer is proposing one single-family lot, Lot 54, on approximately 0.77 acres to be served by public water and sewer. The developer is also proposing a 0.45 acre for the Berkeley County Public Service Sewer District surrounding their existing pump station. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On January 12th, 2024, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance. The major plan change meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends advancement of the major plan change to the final plat stage.
Okay, do we have anyone? Mr. Sianovich?
Yes, Steve Sianovich, Fox and Associates.
Thank you. Okay, this is a public hearing. Again, it's your opportunity to make your questions or comments known.
There is no one. I move to close public hearing.
Second.
Let the record show that there's no one to speak. I have a motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Gant to close public hearing. Are there any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Sionovich or the staff?
If there are questions, I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation and advance the major plan change to the final plat stage.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Gant to accept staff recommendation. Second? Second by Mr. Goff. That would be to accept the major plan change and move it on to the final plat stage. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any questions? Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thanks. Okay, preliminary final plat approval, Les Leet.
This is a request for preliminary final plat approval. The project is Les Khalid, file 2310-355. The developer is Daniel Les Khalid, and the surveyor is DeMagno Consulting, Inc. It's located in the Hedgesville District, tax map 31, parcel 2.12, and is located on Locust Grove Road, approximately 0.15 miles west of Crossroads School Road. The project proposes the creation of 2 residential lots, a 2.8631 acre lot and a 5.1270 acre lot to be served by private well and septic. On February 6, 2024, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance. The project's compliant with the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends approval of the preliminary final plat.
Thank you. Mr. DeMagno,
Yes, ma'am.
how are you
Mr.
this evening?
Leskovic's in the audience. If you have any questions for
All
him.
right. Planning Commission members, do you have any questions for Mr. DeMagno or of Mr. Les Khalid?
Hearing none, ma'am, I make a motion to accept approval of the preliminary final plat.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Bush, second by Mr. Gant to accept staff recommendation, and that is to approve preliminary final plat for Les Khalid. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any questions? Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next preliminary final plat approval is for Michael.
Yes, this request for preliminary final plat approval is for Michael, file 2401-006. The developer is Jeff Michael and the surveyor is Roberts Land Surveying. It's located in the Arden District, tax map 4, parcel 7.32, and is located at 42 Blessing Lane, approximately 150 feet off Arden-Knollville Road. The developer is proposing a 4.14 acre residential lot, which is currently improved with a single-family residence, and a 22.80 acre residue to be served by private well and septic. At the February 5th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting, the developer was granted a waiver to section 305.4.1 contingent upon all existing lots 1 through 8 and future lots with the Cornerstone subdivision to be incorporated into the stormwater management design at the time of residue development. On February 7th, 2024, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance. The project is compliant with the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends approval of the preliminary final plat.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to represent?
Yes, Mike Roberts represents the project.
Thank you, Mike. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Roberts or of the staff?
If there are no questions, I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation and approve the preliminary final plat.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gant, second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendation, and that is to approve the preliminary final plat for Michael. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any questions? Opposed? Motion passed. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, moving right along. Red Hill Phase 12.
Yes, this is a request for final plat determination. Projects Red Hill Phase 12, lots 65 through 79, 112 through 139, and 178 through 190, and 338 through 345. The file is 2204-116. The developer is Phil Koger Investments, and the surveyor is Roberts Land Surveying. It's located in the Hedgesville District, tax map 28, parcel 46, and is located on Ridge Road South, approximately half a mile from its intersection with Hedgesville Road. The final plat proposes the development of 26 single-family lots, on approximately 6.44 acres to be served by public water and sewer. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On November 9th, 2023, County Engineer Doug Smith deemed the above-mentioned project compliant with the subdivision ordinance. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the March 18th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Yes, Mike Roberts.
Thank you. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Roberts or the staff?
No questions, I'll make a motion to accept staff recommendation. Final plat meets requirements of subdivision ordinance, therefore recommend to advertise for a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval of March 18th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
I have a motion, Mr. Gant, second Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation and as to conduct a public hearing on March 18, at which time the final plat will be considered for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, staff council discussion, action, and motion. You have, I'll speak for the staff. You have the activity report that's been revised, and I don't know if that was a test for us or not, to see if
It was
we,
just brought to my attention that there was some Excel errors, so I changed it.
well,
Working with Excel from 2008 is real fun.
where I saw the changes was on page 15 and 17. Is that where the
It was
totals were wrong?
It was the lot count stuff. So,
Yeah.
it's been changed in the tables and reflected in like the breakdown in the one paragraph. Above,
Yeah.
I think section 3.
Yeah. Okay, we had it submitted to us at our last meeting, and then it got revised. So, if you've all had a chance to look at it and you're ready to pass it on to the county commission, would entertain a motion to do so.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Goff to send the activity report revised to the county commission. Second, Mr. Lewis. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion carries. The report from the lakes, Banbury. It's a big, long report. You've addressed some concerns with it. Have you heard anything back from them?
No, ma'am.
So,
The report basically is much more of a professional survey of what's out there. They did note there are issues in the existing developed areas that maintenance and remediation need to be done on some of the humidity ponds as they're called upstream, some discharge points, poor riprap, poor spillways, things like that. A lot of critter dams
If it started off,
that probably they need to look at some form of something. If they get into the embankments, it's only gonna, burrows are only gonna make that worse. And then, that's the existing development, where development is existing or has been done. The other portions are the plans that are before you for these future preliminary plans coming in the other areas. There are a lot of features that they noted, that just don't always show up on those plans that I could see. The buffers for the sinkholes, there's actually two. There's a 50-foot and a 100-foot. There's criteria in there for utility trenches running in those buffers. They gotta be plugged every 50 feet. A lot of that's, I can't tell you, I don't think that's been done on the previous phases. But, certainly these pending ones, that needs to be done. In my opinion, And I think if you read my comments too, I kinda was, I would say, blatant about it, but if there are that many karst features out there, which is what they're saying, okay? If there are, I mean, it certainly is karst strength, or geological, right? So at a minimum, all the cars should be watered, if they were to maintain a wet surface foundation, and if they were to protect any dissolution channels or anything like that on a permanent water surface. Whenever you have head pressure, you know, water's gonna find that thing. So, I mean, that was kind of my statement in here. When you really get down to basics, you can go to the basic question is, well, it's really cars, so why did you put a liner in there in the first place? Not in just the one part, but all of them if they had to have a water surface elevation. So, that was kind of the question there, and I think moreover, where I am with it was, there's obviously other areas that need maintenance attention on the spillways, the ponds, the discharge points, things like that I saw pictures of in the report, which you did too. Certainly they need attention by someone, whether it's the HOA or the developer. But they need to address those, and then obviously it comes back to in the new part, or the areas that aren't developed that are going to come in, you know, they have to be very diligent about all of that remediation work that either, some of those things may not be true karst areas, karst depressions, they could just be low areas, but there were some on there that, you know, they were definitely holding water. Water had certainly been in there. It has now since disappeared. One can only say that more than likely it found the solution channel, or maybe it evaporated. I don't know, but in January time of year, water wasn't evaporating really quickly like it is in the dead of the July. So one, yes, exactly. I mean, and just knowing the area around there.
We're up there.
I live there, yeah.
I grew
So
up around
I can
all
take you to places where there's bedrock and it collapsed down, and it's, you know, it's cars. So that's kind of where I was with it. I haven't heard anything back. I got that out quick enough so that they could respond back prior to your March 4th. There you go, March 4th.
Well, the report, as I see it, was written on about the 13th from Banbury Holt, prepared for Banbury by Geotech Associates. It was written about the 13th of February. And you responded today, the 20th, but you haven't heard anything from them yet. So we will have it back on the agenda on the 4th of March. Hopefully we will hear something between now and then. If you get any communication that you feel you want to share with us in the meantime, please do so.
I mean, we're, you know, like I said, I try to look at it from a couple different standpoints, and those were the comments weren't extremely pointed. They were more targeted, if you will, if that makes sense.
Okay. Is there anything else we have? Mr. Legal, you have anything for us?
I don't have anything for you.
Okay.
I move to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Goff to adjourn at 6:18. Second by Mr. Gatton. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?